Good morning, dear students. Welcome to Grade 9 English, Session 2 of the Packing chapter by Jaram K. Jaram. In the previous session, we have read that there are three friends, George, Harris and Jaram, the narrator. So they planned for a holiday, and this is how the packing incident started. The narrator offered to pack the things because he thinks that he is good at packing, and he felt pride in his packing skills. Right, dear students? And today in this session, we are going to read about packing and unpacking of the things, why it happened, because the narrator was doing it. And the reason behind it, that he was forgetting the things, right? He was forgetting the things that has to be kept into the bag. Clear? And finally, late at night at 10:05 p.m., the packing was completed. And at that time, only packing of food hamper was left. And George and Harris, they took it to be handled. But dear students, it was a total mess, right? And today we will start from the page number 83. So dear students, it is page number 83, para 4. Let me read it for you. However, I didn't say anything, but started the packing. It seemed a longer job than I had thought it was going to be, but I got the bag finished at last, and I sat on it and strapped it. "Aren't you going to put the boots in?" said Harris, and I looked around and found I had forgotten them. That's just like Harris. He couldn't have said a word until I had got the bag shut and strapped. And of course, George laughed, one of those irritating, senseless laughs of his. They do make me so wild. So, dear students, it took the narrator much longer time than he had expected to pack. Because the reason is, he was inexperienced in the skill of packing quickly and efficiently. Clear? And after the bag had been shut and strapped by the narrator, my God, Harris reminded him that he had forgotten to pack the boots. So, dear students, what do you say? Why he waited till the completion of packing to say this? The reason is he wanted to irritate the narrator and have fun. Clear, dear students? Now, para 5. I opened the bag and packed the boots in. And then, just as I was going to close it, a horrible idea occurred to me. Had I packed my toothbrush? I don't know how it is, but I never do know whether I have packed my toothbrush. So, my toothbrush is a thing that haunts me when I am traveling and makes my life a misery. A dream that I haven't packed it and wake up in a cold perspiration and get out of bed and hunt for it. And in the morning I pack it before I have used it, and I have to unpack again to get it. And it is always the last thing I turn out of the bag, and then I repack and forget it and have to rush upstairs for it at the last moment and carry it to the railway station wrapped up in my pocket handkerchief. So, dear students, haunts means to getting trouble again and again. Clear? So, after packing the bag, the narrator was thinking that had he packed his toothbrush or not? Because toothbrush was a thing that he needed the most, and he couldn't do without it while traveling. And once it happened also, he packed his toothbrush before using it, and so he had to unpack it again. Then he repack it and forget to place it. Then again he unpacked and dropped the toothbrush in a handkerchief and put it in his pocket. So, dear students, this time also the same thing happened. So he was thinking about his toothbrush. So he reopened it and packed the So he had to unpack it all over again to locate the toothbrush. Clear, dear students? He found the toothbrush of Harris and George 18 times, but couldn't find his own toothbrush. And finally he found the toothbrush inside a boot, and again he packed the bag. Clear, dear students? So here, dear students, hampers are the baskets which are used for carrying food, right? And when the narrator was almost done with the packing, George suddenly asked him whether the soap was packed or not. Then the narrator said he didn't care about anything and he shut the bag. After doing it, he found, oh my God, that he had packed his specs in the bag. And again he had to reopen it and pack it again. So at last, finally, at 10:05 at night, it was done. Clear? And what was left to pack was the food hampers. Here, George and Harris offered to pack the hamper. Why did they make this offer? Because Jerram had already consumed a lot of time in packing the bag, and they were now left with less than 12 hours to leave. Right? So it is para 8. They begin in a light-hearted spirit, evidently intending to show me how to do it. I made no comment. I only waited. With the exception of George, Harris is the worst packer in this world. And I looked at the piles of plates and cups and kettles and bottles and jars and pies and stoves and cakes and tomatoes, etc. and felt that the thing would soon become exciting. It did. They started with breaking a cup. That was the first thing they did. They did that just to show you what they could do and to get you interested. Then Harris packed the strawberry jam on top of a tomato and squished it. And they had to pick out the tomato with the teaspoon. Both of them started happily and show off their skill of packing to the narrator. But the narrator was in a relaxed mood. He kept silent. He felt that Harris was the worst packer of the world. There was a pile of things laying over there. Plates, cups, kettles, bottles, jars, pies, stoves, cakes, tomatoes and all. And eventually, George and Harris broke a cup at the starting, and then Harris packed the strawberry jam on a tomato and it was squashed. But the tomato was flattened that they have to pick it out with the help of a spoon. Clear, dear students? And it was George's turn, and he chewed on the butter. I didn't say anything, but I came over and sat on the edge of the bed and watched them. The George stepped on the butter. Narrator was silently watching him and sitting on the corner of the table. It irritated them more than anything I could have said. I felt that it made them nervous and excited, and they stepped on things and put things behind them and then couldn't find them when they wanted them, and they packed the pies at the bottom and put heavy things on top and smashed the pies in. So, dear students, as the narrator was sitting lazily, this made both George and Harris irritated, and ultimately they got nervous. They jumbled up the items to be packed and crushed softer things like pies under heavy objects. Clear? Now, para 10. They upset salt over everything. As for the butter, I never saw two men do more with 1 and 2 pence worth of butter in my whole life than they did. After George had got it off his slipper, they tried to put it in the kettle. It wouldn't go it, and what was in wouldn't come out. They did scrape it out at last and put it down on a chair, and Harris sat on it, and it struck to him, and they went looking for it all over the room. Right, dear students? They upset everything. Right? Upset salt means they upset everything. They troubled everything. It was a mess. George stepped on the butter. Trod means step. And George got the butter off his slipper. Then they try to put it in the kettle. Can it be put in the kettle, the butter? But that is their thinking. It wouldn't go, and what was in the kettle wouldn't come out. Then at last they got it and put it down on the chair. And here is the amazing boy. He sat on the chair and the butter stuck at him. And the two foolish friends started looking for it all over the room. How foolish they are, my dear students. So dear students, we are ending the session of part 2 of the chapter Packing Here. Goodbye.